Welcome to another edition of the Global Perspectives podcast. Today we have the students have prepared a few topics. So who's going to start? What is our first topic?
So today we're gonna talk about social media text. Do you know some social media that where you need to pay? Who knows?
No, I don't know. But
Well, recently in Lebanon, the government has introduced a tax on WhatsApp. So what do you think about taxing social media?
taxing social media could be very dangerously affecting to the people in society, because we can't imagine our life because without social media, and it will be very hard to be able to live without it. So, who thinks another way?
I want to say about the meaning of the word social media. For example, if you have taxes on social media, will some forums or sites are counted like a social media or not? There are many ways to speak with each other, talk with each other via internet. For example, you can even play a game and use an online game chat to talk. So we need to firstly know what social media is.
So I think that if social media will be taxed, so few people will use social media at all, and it means that few people will connect with each other. For example, people from Kazakhstan won't be able to connect with the people from America, maybe, and it will become very dangerous to our world to connect.
I want to answer to the question about what is the social media. I think the government will tax like messengers that we use every day, but not like video game chats or something like that, because it's not used like very often. Other thoughts?
How we know, social media is one of the most important parts of our life, and now we can't explain our life without this, without the social media. And from my point of view, if the social media will be taxed, it will be hard to connect, because not all the people agree with this, and if someone use social media but someone is not, as Jibek say early, it will be hard to connect between each other.
Yes, I agree with you, Aisda. For example, I know many people who get married because of social medias. They talked in this platform and meet each other, and they become a family.
In my opinion, the social media tax it's beneficial, maybe changings in our life, because in 21st century, dependence on social media is very important and main problem that children have dependence to use social media every day and every time.
Yes, I agree with you, Madi. But what we should tax in social media, like the amount of how much time we spend in the social media, or how much symbols we send it, or tax the amount of information, like $1 for or one like a gigabyte of information or something like that. What do you think about this?
I think that taxing social media means, in my opinion, for example, limit for the time. For example, it's better to helpful to children to regulate their time management. For example, for one period of time, child need to enter to their social media account for example, 2 hours per day, and if they will stay in this platform and for unlimited time, they will pay maybe $1 per amount of hour.
So from economical point of view, if social media would be taxed, especially Instagram social media, lots of bloggers and people who just write their opinions for fun or maybe for useful information, it's not a secret that they earn their money from this. It's like their bread. So they will lose their salary and they will not have a motivation to write and to share with their thoughts. So it could be turned into not only economical issue but also into social problem.
But if we take like time, tax it in the social media, I think they just will make a post and then leave the social media app, so they won't lose any money. And also that tax won't be such a very big for their earnings on the advertisements in their accounts.
And I have new question. Who will get this money from this taxing?
In perfect scenario, I think that this tax will be used to improve our infrastructure and healthcare, for example. But I don't think so that it will be real. I have another question. If social media is taxed, will this event increase the inequality of the people? For example, rich people may spend 24 hours per day using WhatsApp, when poor people even they wouldn't be able to pay for their time, pay for the social media, so it will increase the inequality. Do you think so?
So 50 to 50, because it's all connected to the behavior of rich people. If they will, for example, share with not people with who are able to give their money for the social media visiting, this problem will not be. And so I think so.
So, you said that you can imagine our world without social media. So, how it will looks like the world of internet and technologies without social media?
Nobody can imagine it.
Yes.
In my opinion, it will be like in the 70s, 80s, like our parents live. My mom always say, in our time, we didn't have any social media. We just talk with each other in real life, and just live and enjoy the life. And I think it will be something like this, and the situations will be the same. And who want to say something?
So I think that the world can develop without social medias, because we have letters, we have another method to communicate with each other. So the most important and basic communication method is just a dialogue. So
But the social medias are more like they are more effective than the other types of communication, because in social media you have a large amount of people that using the app. For example, like WhatsApp, it now has more than 1.5 billion of users, and if they will like leave WhatsApp, their communication will be ruined. Maybe the people who are they talking, they are overseas, and there can't be very good connection between them.
We're slowly running out of time. Are there any other final thoughts to finish the world without social media, and then we'll close with a funny question, with an interesting question. So, any other comments about the world without social media?
I think the world will be more romantic. Why not?
All right, and our last question is, what would you do with $1 million? So what would some of our young folk here do with $1 million? Anybody?
I would make $1 billion from this $1 million, because with such amount of money you can easily invest and make this amount of money bigger and bigger. So I think this is the best decision to increase this amount of money that you have. For example, you said $1 million.
So if suddenly I will find the $1 million, I think that I will invest it in my education, because it's a good way of spending money, and in future it will be more useful and necessary for me.
If I will have the $1 million, I think the part of this money I will give to the charity, because there are so many children or people who is ill, and we need to help them, because we are the one big family of society.
I think that's a positive note to leave it on. Stay tuned for the next edition of the Global Perspectives podcast.